Hello, how are we all doing today? Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your energy and your support. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. I am happy to have you here. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I really do appreciate your energy and your support. So we'll be doing a general reading for the collective today. So remember that as a general reading, they may not resonate with everyone. And if they don't, I hope that you will come back for either check out our prior readings or come back in the future for the ones who come. Today is April the 24th. However, time is fluid, so whenever you come upon this reading is when you are meant to see it. It is my intention to bring through messages that are meaningful, helpful for you on your journey, and hopefully will encourage some reflection and inspiration in your day. Okay, so let's get started. I was planning on using the Lightseer's Tarot, but Mystical Moments is calling to us. All right, let's shuffle one more time. And just as a reminder, if you do find these messages meaningful, or if you'd just like to help support the channel, please be sure to like, and please don't forget to subscribe as well so that you're notified when future videos are released. And as well, I always welcome your comments. I'd love to see your thoughts on these readings, whether they resonate and how they resonate for you in your life. So I'm getting an energy of this being for the week ahead and not just for today or tomorrow. For the collective for the week of April 24th through May 2nd. I'm getting a lot of pressure in my forehead, so although it is springtime, especially in the south where there is a lot of pollen, so that certainly might resonate with a lot of you. However, I don't think that is not the feeling I'm getting. This is definitely a third eye pressure, so encouraging you to work on opening that chakra. Some third eye crystals that you could work with are amethyst, iolite, lapis lazuli, azurite. Really paying attention to the messages, or the seeing is the word I'm hearing, available to you through your third eye. You may have to close your physical eyes in order to see more clearly what your third eye is showing to you. All right, you guys, who's for, I'm laughing because I'm getting this energy of the cards are not coming out, and I feel like there's a truth that someone does not want to see. There's a lot of need for us to be honest with ourselves. If you watched the past few readings, you know that's come through a lot in the readings, and that level of honesty is really being encouraged by Spirit. We have transformations that are in process, things that we need to grow into, and any sort of falsehoods or illusions or delusions, I'm hearing, really need to, I started to say to be addressed. They do need to be addressed, but again, with some grace for yourself and gratitude for being shown the truth, even when it is very difficult to accept. But that's what's going to give you the freedom to be able to move into your transformation, into this next stage. There are a lot of cycles closing right now and moving into new lives, new cycles of our lives, and so that sort of honesty is imperative. You don't want to take those illusions or any sort of repressed truths or emotions with you into this next cycle. It's not going to be possible, is what I'm hearing. Okay. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Cups, and I feel like this is indicative of our challenge. Hold that a little bit more clearly, so hopefully you can see that. The Page of Cups, the small fish in the cup. And it feels very much to be a reflection of what I was just talking about with the need for honesty. The Page of Cups can be a small offer of love or a emotion in some form, but it feels like the figure in this card is not seeing it as a fish. She's seeing it as something other than a fish, and something that she's desired, and it's not truly how she's seeing it. So that's the challenge, is seeing the truth of it, seeing that there's a fish in your cup. Okay, so we have the Knight of Cups, the Six of Cups, the King of Swords in reverse, and the Sun. I don't always read reversals, but I turned it over that way, so we're going to leave it that way. Okay, so the Knight of Cups. The figure is in a lotus flower and playing a heart as a stringed instrument. The birthing of a new Heartsong is what's coming to mind. So the Knight of Cups can also be an offer of love, emotional growth, and I'm getting more of that in this emotional growth through this new Heartsong. I'll put this here so maybe you can see it. The Six of Cups. Oh, okay, here we go. So the Six of Cups is indicative of its looking back on the past. It can represent children, but it more often than not, I feel it is looking back on the past with, or even our childhood, but any sort of past experiences or emotions with a sense of nostalgia, missing out on the past, looking back on the past fondly. But again, it goes back to this sense of being honest about it, because now we have the King of Swords in reverse and the King of Swords upright. Now this is the feminine representation of the King of Swords in this deck. Okay, the King of Swords upright is very connected to spirit, but in discerning, in that very astute trains of thought. They are connected to spirit, and they are connected to their spiritual side, and they are connected to their intuition, but at the same time they're able to merge, I'm hearing, but partner that with the rational and logical mind. So it's a beautiful blend. Now sometimes the King of Swords can be a little harsh, but and that can be represented by the reversal of the card. So taking that astute and logical mind and using it to slash things, literally, well, not literally, but with words. But in this case, I feel like the King of Swords here in the reversal is representing or showing us the need, or a bit of a warning or a consideration, that when we're looking back at the past, to be honest about what actually occurred, to be careful of nostalgia. And I said here initially with the Knight of Cups that this is a new Heartsong, right? So as we're creating or writing this new Heartsong for ourselves, let's not get caught up in nostalgia by looking at past situations, emotions, feelings, events, so much so that we're not utilizing not only our rational thought, but our intuition as well. And then the fourth card is the Sun, and this is number 19, and representative of positivity and taking flight and freedom and all that is lightness and light. Now in that there's a starling as well, and she has the starling over one eye and near her third eye as well. And so I think it's not a matter of, and the bird has dark coloring. So I'm trying to think of how to say this. It's going right back to the Six of Cups. So making sure that you're being completely honest with yourself and not allowing the nostalgia of looking back to give you a falsehood or a false memory, put a veil across your intuition and your third eye and even your second your second physical eye when you're looking at what has occurred in the past. Okay, light seers. There's more to this, I believe, so give me just a moment. Let me shuffle a little bit and we'll get into this a little bit further, or get a messages that add on to this. So it's very important to use all of our senses. And believe as we're creating this heart song, we have to be able to do that, because otherwise we're not going to be able to move forward even into the full essence of the sun, positivity and joy and lightness and freedom, if we're not looking at our experience in the fullness of what it is. I mean, even said this many times to people close to me, and written about it as well, but that even in the darkest and most painful moments of our lives, there are blessings to be found within that. There are things, learning that we can be grateful for. It's a matter of our perception, and that is not in any means, please don't take that as that I am attempting to gaslight any of you into how tragic and painful I know the experiences that some of you have had. However, if we stay in the energy of the trauma and the pain, then that trauma holds on to us for far. We're giving our energy to it. It doesn't minimize how traumatic it was. It's getting into a state of empowerment because of the trauma, not allowing it to keep us in a state of disempowerment. Okay? So even the most painful parts of our lives, there's learning to be had from that. There's growth to be had from that. And the most beautiful times of our lives too, of course. But as humans, we don't intend to grow unless we're uncomfortable, right? The hermit crab moves into a new shell only when it begins to outgrow the old and it's too tight and it doesn't fit in the confines of that old shell. And we are not so dissimilar from that. We only grow when things become too restrictive and we are uncomfortable. All right, let's see if it comes out. It keeps wanting to pop up there. Let's get at least one more. And again, I feel, I can feel the energy of someone not feeling like their feelings have not been acknowledged. And please know that I in no way intend to diminish anyone's experience or feelings, and I sense the pain of it, and for whoever I'm speaking to, I see you, and I see what you, not literally, but I can see the pain of it, and I can feel the pain of it. And I'm sending you much, much light and love and holding space for you as you process that. So, okay, let's see what we have here. Five of Cups, we had that the other day, didn't we? All right, you guys. So we have the Five of Cups, which we had that the other day. It may have been yesterday. I can't remember from one message to the next, so I apologize. When I'm channeling, I don't oftentimes don't remember the messages. So, the Five of Cups. Sometimes it's read a little bit more harshly as crying over spilt milk, but it is a part of the process, right? It is letting go of any loss, what we feel is loss, any pain, but it is being stuck in that. And so this is kind of a clarification of what we were talking about before, and and why the subject of pain came up, and hurt and trauma. And if I hesitate, it's because this is such a delicate subject, and I want everyone to feel heard and seen and not diminished by any means. So, but we have to be cautious when we are in a state of hurt or pain or loss, of switching, of being aware of what we do hold in our hands. She's holding this beautiful bowl in her hand, and the others may be empty, but the one she's holding is full, and it's bright, and it's glorious, and it's brimming with all the colors of life. But she's not paying attention, and she's actually purposefully spilled a cup. So, not getting stuck in this, and see how then they all swirl down into this hole. This is like the rabbit hole of lack, of looking backwards at what was lost, so to speak, what has passed. After that, we have the Magician, who has a similar pool in front of him, and I have to say this is my favorite card in this deck. I love the energy of the Magician. The Magician is the alchemist. The Magician is the manifester. The Magician creates worlds, and each of us have this ability. Each of us have this ability. Now, there's a similar spiral as in the Five of Cups. However, this one, the cups are draining into this. This spiral, the Magician is creating with intention and magic and alchemy, transmutation. Concentrated energy, concentrated focus, concentrated power. Then we have the Eight of Cups, and then we have the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so I'm going to turn these around so you guys can see them. Hopefully you can kind of see them. The light is changing, so it might be kind of difficult. So the message here is pretty clear to me. Again, holding on to the Five of Cups energy that we just talked about, being focused on what has passed to the extent that you are not seeing what is available to you, what you hold in your hand already. And the answer to that is becoming the Magician. Shifting your focus, shifting your intention and your attention to creating what you want, how you want to feel, what you want to experience. And I know I've brought up Abraham Hicks before, but I will do it again probably in every reading. So I apologize if it gets a little repetitive, but her messages are incredibly beneficial and really explain the law of attraction and manifestation very, very well, I feel. And she's been doing this for decades. So now that doesn't automatically give credence to what someone says. However, in this case, her messages are very positive, very uplifting, and when you find yourself in this Five of Cups state of mind, even just listening to one 15-minute segment of hers will, I'm sure, help to raise your vibration. There are other things that you can do to raise your vibration as well. You can dance, sing, listen to music, play music, get outside, put your bare feet in the ground, get by water. I went and did that this morning myself for the same reason. We are humans, but we do, and so we are going to experience these shifts in energy within ourselves, but we can do things to be the Magician, to help ourselves to create what we want to experience. Now we can choose to either stay in a disempowered state, or we can choose to be the magician and be in an empowered state. So that's a choice each of us has to make, has to make, because not making a choice is a choice, right? Okay, so we have, oh, my nose itches. Sorry guys, but that happens when I'm channeling as well. So the Magician is number 1 card, and this is it's creation. Using the power that's within you to create the life that you want through every moment. And that allows you to walk away from the state of mind, those things, people, situations, experiences that left you in a 5 of Cups type of energy. The 8 of Cups is walking away, and they've got a fire in this bowl. They've cleansed themselves of what was holding them captive, and walking towards the sun, walking towards the light. She's turned her back on that. She's lit the bowl on fire. She's walking away. And after that comes the 6 of Pentacles. Balance, abundance, rewards. And the reciprocity, the state of balance that allows for giving and receiving in equal measure. And whether that's with ourselves, with the people around us, with our community, but it's and then of course there's the infinity symbol in the background, but also please recognize that the being in receptive mode is just equally as important as in the giving mode. Many of us are overgivers, and our tendency is to give, feeling that somehow it will allow us to be seen and heard for who we are. And that's not the truth of it. If we're always giving, we're not making space for receiving. And how can you be seen if you don't, for example, if you're always talking, no one's able to get in a word, you're not able to listen, right? Even if it comes down to being given a compliment, and I love this example because it's something that I certainly am continuing to work on, but being able to, if someone gives you a compliment, then they're seeing you correctly. Well, that's funny I said that way, because I meant to say they're seeing you correct, as in right, don't you agree? But and sometimes especially if we're not in receiving mode and we're not comfortable with compliments, we don't think that they're seeing us correctly because it doesn't match with our vision of ourselves or our image of ourselves. But oftentimes our image of ourselves is distorted, especially if we're not able to receive compliments. We're not able to see the positive things, the wonderful things, the beautiful things about ourselves. So the giver of the compliment may in fact be seeing you correctly, and if you're not able to receive that compliment and then take that in, then what? Then what? What is the vibration that you're sending out into the universe? That you're not worthy of that. But isn't that where that stems from? Not feeling worthy. Not feeling worthy of the compliment. But by not accepting the compliment, then you're you're in that energetic vibration of not being worthy of the compliment, even though you are. So this is where the magician comes in, and it's time to transmute that, shift that perspective. And even if you can't see it, you can still accept the compliment with grace and gratitude for someone seeing something wonderful in you that maybe you can't see yet yourself. And that in itself gradually helps you shift your own perspective. And you're allowing in more compliments, more abundance, more beautiful things, more validation and confirmation through other people and signs of just how amazing you are. Okay, so we have that. That is the end of that message. Let's do an oracle. We'll do one from the sacred forest, okay? Since I was in one of my sacred forests this morning. I was going to bring you guys a reading from there, but it was a little noisy. There were a lot of people there this morning. I did have a pretty amazing experience I'll share with you guys. There's an it's right on the lake, and there was an osprey nest, which I thought had not been in use. And as my dog and I parked underneath this tree that held this osprey nest, there was another couple people that pointed out to me that there was a bird in the nest. And shortly after that, the osprey made it very clear that they did not appreciate my presence there. So it was pretty cool though. I honored their request, and it was subtle, but there was quite a bit of vocalization and movement. So we went ahead and moved just to be on the safe side, and that seemed to fix it. Possibility too, there were babies up there, and I didn't want to infringe on their space. Okay. Let's see. So get out into nature, you guys, as much as you can. I know it's difficult with life being as busy as it is. We're going to get another one here too from Kyle Gray, Angels and Ancestors, and see what comes out for both of these. I know it's difficult, and it's difficult to make time for it, but it's really important. Experiences even like the one that I had this morning are just bring us back into the moment and help us to connect with that clean and centered and grounded place within us, and that childlike wonder where joy is ever present. So especially if you're finding it hard to find joy, doing something that allows you to be mindful and find mindfulness in that moment and just present in the moment will help open up a doorway to that joy. Okay. Well, oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm actually going to I'm going to show you the Angels and Ancestors card first. This is the Knight, and this is Be Brave and Honest. And it is, there's no number on this. Okay. Really, after what we just talked about, it speaks for itself. I don't know that I need to go into any more detail with that. Be brave and honest. Be brave with yourself. Be honest with yourself. As you are transcending with Pegasus, number 28. Yes, number 20. Is it 28 or 23? Because My eyes are bad. No, it's 28. Transcending. And this is exactly what I was talking about before with this transformative time that we're in. This is the image that's on the back of these cards too. I think this is the first time I've seen this one. Allow yourself to fly. Being brave, being honest will, I don't know if you can see it there. Being brave and being honest will allow you to fly and transcend. Okay, you guys. That is this week's message. I hope you find this helpful and meaningful. And if any part of it resonates for you, please, please, please be sure to comment down below in the comment section. If anyone would like a personal reading, the information on how to contact me is in the description box. Thank you again for being here. I greatly appreciate your support, your energy, your time, the connection, and I wish you the best. I hope you have a wonderful week. I'll see you guys soon.